Hello. Okay, there we go. My microphone wasn't plugged in. Oops. Oops. Oopsies. Oh, good thing I recognized that early into the stream. In spite of your tremendous vampire seed, you simply cannot avoid this savage volley of floppy shoes. All three attributes have been dampered. Ripeness depletes steadily regardless. Uh-oh. Zombie stick, clean the mess up. Oh no. Okay, I don't want to click. Okay, I don't want to click this. Oh good, and more webcomic to read. Huh. Well, I'm probably gonna read that after Homestuck. I think I'm gonna cover Team Special Olympics after Homestuck. Anyways. PFP. Oh, past feature Prickle Inspector, right. Cheat in Game of Trouble. Oh no. After about 7 hours horsing around with the loathsome Pop-O-Matic bubble, you're no closer to landing a favorable roll with these stupid sugar cubes. You look around to make absolutely certain death is still far away from the table. You advise one of your pegs by one slot. You're now overwhelmed with feelings of guilt. You mature a new guilt tech, shame of 1,000 bedwetting children. With the piece back. A stick. Take money to racetrack. Bet on ponies. Just double check. My sounds good. Yep, okay. You make a few sharp turns to ditch death. You head straight for the tracks, ready to pony up the dough and put yourself on the easy street for life. You speed through an intersection and run over a pedestrian. You cradle her in her arms. She is slipping away from you. Besides, GPI, you beseech God, Pickle Inspector, for mercy, pleading that he spare this beautiful woman from such cruel fate. A voice nearby reminds you are pleading with the wrong entity. You desperately bargain with death, challenge against any game you can think of for the fair damsel's life. Clue, Connect 4, Uno, Battleship, Sudoku. Okay, well, not Sudoku, but how about Snakes and Ladders? That's fun. What about Hungry Hippos? You love Hungry Hippos. Death vanishes from the game. He has either been moved by your plea, or has more important business to attend elsewhere. One's life is spared. You are so happy. No, don't do that. Your superiority has been clearly established. The bystanders admire your manly initiative. A stick marries wife Hearst. The MK's emotional level rises due to the words are hard, okay. Point. I know this word. I just thought. Poignant, whatever. Tear-jerking moment taking place on top of his hat. In his emotional state, he is vulnerable to physical attacks. Oh, good. Single tear from. Oh, that's funny. Problems with combat operandi. Why did I always say combat operandi instead of operandi at first? Whatever. Armistics. You expend the required units of Hogsloff pie filling in a single elf tier to invoke the mysterious command. You summon death from his realm, or wherever the hell he was when. Oh, that's why he disappeared. You strike a diplomatic bargain with death and receive a boon. You have acquired Death's Scythe. Problem Sleuth, aggress. Nice. Oh. Fiesta Stick beat the crap out of Mobster Kingpin. You stand up to Mobster Kingpin's ears, but it seems he has fled the office. Oh no. Mobster Kingpin deposits an ornate Persian rug over the trapdoor, then retreats downstairs. Fiesta Stick pursue Mobster Kingpin. Oh no. You fall right into MK's trap and slide down the dumbwaiter shaft into the back room of your office. Oh, this. I forgot about all this. This is like way earlier. Mobster Kingpin enters his speakeasy and relodges the O between the doors. You're a little irked that someone would tamper with your carefully thought out security measures. Also wonder what happened to your beautiful bust. Problem Sleuth, keep aggressing. Yeah, kill him. Get this guy. Yes, they burst into room while Kool-Aid Man. Like Kool-Aid Man. Oh, yeah. You feel most unwelcome rumbling beneath your feet. Fiesta Stick breakdown door using awesome Latin strength. Usually snap the thin, brittle instrument in half. You wonder what sort of moron thought it would serve as sufficient obstruction in the first place. Look, the little bit commotion proves to the oboe. I've never known how to pronounce that. Hold on a second.
Oboe.
Oboe, okay. It is an oboe. The floor caves beneath you. When Fiesta Stick examines the hole, you sneak upstairs, push him into the hole. Okay, Mobster Kingpin, exit speakeasy. GPI, do something useful. Attack or something. I'm sorry, but God-eyed Pickle Inspector can only fondly regard his creation. The illusionary world form is not to be interfered with, and the divine dance within it is going to be revered silently through his omniscient ogle. God, this is weird. Oh, cripees. In this form, DMK regenerates health very quickly. Your attacks are having a hard time keeping up with his restorative ability. Regress faster. Go ahead. Check on status of honey production. Bang nectar has been raining down steadily with every attack. Eager bees have been collecting it and applying it. There's new impetus combs. It looks like 3 new combs are nearing completion. Pickle Inspector, stop standing around like an idiot and do something. Yeah, what an idiot Pickle Inspector is. Such a... Nope. Go away. Go away. Okay. Nope. No. Can I just straight up ban someone? Hold on. Wouldn't be hide. How do you just... It's selected. No, how do I? Maybe not just hide user from channel. Also report. Okay. You think it's finally time you put your Gambit schema as monstrous strength to use. Maybe you throw a heavy object at him? Yes. That huge anchor over there should do nicely. You start making your way over there due to your ridiculous Frankenstein slowness. You can only move several inches per minute. This could take a while. Zombie stick, stop standing there like an idiot and do something. Zombie stick is borderline bad word, and usually can't do anything other than bite things and absorb preposterous amounts of damage. Like at the moment, he manages to be doing both at the same time. Nervous brought. What's Gittenham truck and drive-through underpass? The churlish toff loses its footing. Oh. Hello? I don't speak French. Sorry. His binoculars are sadly crushed beneath the tire of the ham truck. You drive through Jack Squad underpass with the plug in tow. Fade the plug through a gutter pipe projector. You widen the aperture of the valve and dump the plug through. You might jump in after that. It looks like Hysterical Dame has caught up with you, followed by her smitten suitor. They both jump through the pipe too. The extra slack from the plug's cord is tightened around the eye of the ham needle. God, this place is weird. The plug is projected at a high velocity due to the moving picture screen at now a reasonable scale. Nervous brought Hysterical Dame and the Swain are all projected as well. You loosen your drawstrings on your bodice to normalize your scale, but you overdo it a little. The Swain gets ungentlemanly eyeful of Mobster Kingpin has exited the speakeasy, which apparently was the back room for a legitimate establishment, operating as a front for its bootlegging outfit. There are just not enough quality wares for purchase to be convincing to do a nosy flatfoot doffing his cap in your direction. What? Oh, I swear to God, if there are more clones of characters, I've even exit a legitimate establishment. You exit the shop south of lovely young women island. This is where all the playboys and tomcats dressed to the nines in their swankiest rags for midnight hootenanny words. Hootenanny, whatever. The back door to the brothel is nearby. It's the entrance of choice for any discreet gentleman. From this vantage, you could see the famous clock tower of Cartesian alignment. You predict behind the Cathedral of Syndicate Ascension its face, in precise alignment with the cathedral's eye. It approaches the strike of midnight. Okay, so now we're getting more stuff. How much more this is left? There is 674 pages, and we are No. There's 1,674 pages, and we are 1,000. There's like 500 pages left. Oh man, we're getting close to finishing this. Why did they keep introducing new stuff? It took it this long to this point. Also, I think I went right. I think this is just gonna be like when did this boss fight start? Between, Oh wait, no, we just got some new unlockable content. I realized that was not here before. Huh. Oh, fun. You've entered a list of valid game codes unlocked by some exciting fan-requested game commands. Oh, fun. You know, I'm definitely gonna have to look through those later once we finish. Fastly stick pursue Mobster Kingpin. You barge out the establishment store, but Mobster Kingpin is nowhere to be found. It seems he swapped hands with one of the gentlemen to throw you off the trail. Ace take advance in life. Life is good. You're making a killing at the bangtails at the track and rolled your earnings into a lucrative empire of casinos, loan sharking, gin milling, and rum running, which is sort of silly because the game of life does not take place in a prohibition era, but more of a generic modern suburban setting where alcohol is perfectly illegal. Still, you stick with what you know. You make your perfect life. Words. You make your perfect life complete. Your beautiful wife has just given birth to Sunhurst. You nudge him affectionately in the snout to establish paternity. Heroes advance in the cathedral. The party has reached level 6,665, one level from the final floor. They are locked in the struggle of the foul giant, Garnhut Blisterhood, damned century of the prohibited exiles. Ganghun has stomped the valiant weasel warrior to death. No! The hog cleric swivels the crook of fealty and casts a spell of porcelain and intervention. The weasel warrior flips the heck out back to life. The clown bard blisters out an incendiary loot solo in a fit of joy. Perhaps with final aggression. Is that enough? Wait, let me take a closer look at the... Oh, you gotta be kidding me. DMK's second health bar has been knocked off completely. He can no longer use it to regenerate. Death, mourn loss of Scythe. The loss of his beloved weapon has caused Death to shed a tear of black liquid sorrow. Zombie A-Stick push Pickle Inspector toward Anchor to hurry him along. Sorry, some things just can't be rushed. Fast A-Stick manhandle one of the gentlemen. You go up a suspicious-looking gentleman by the collar and rip him up a bit. Well, that's not Mobster Kingpin. You take his hat anyway because you take his hat anyway because you lost yours somehow and don't even remember what happened to it. The giant dame above Kindly points out Mobster Kingpin from the lineup. Mobster Kingpin, throw your hat in disgust. No good stinking dames. Can't trust them, I tells you. Yeah, well, you see, no, that's not, I can't, like, yeah, well, no, I can't, I gotta do, like, yeah. Well, Tony, you lost the game. That's like the Joker. Well, no good stinking dames. You can't trust them, I tells you. That's canonically, Mobster Kingpin is just a bad Joker impression. That's just his voice now. Mobster Kingpin takes his hat and flees into the brothel. Circle Dame tighten strings on Bodis. Whatever, Bodis. You return to normal scale. This will name unplug projector and and plug-in fan. You couldn't possibly be that stupid, could you? Never spread. Bring plug through mouse hole. You feed the plug through the hole. Sneak by the outlet is really high up. Only someone with tremendous tallness attribute could reach it. Tighten corset like you've never tightened before. You yank the strings of your aspect corset as hard as you possibly can. Your dimensions elongate considerably. You lift the plug to the outlet. Even though you're weaker with these proportions, you have no problem lifting the plug because it's very light when it is small. Sort of like how an ant can lift 50 times its own weight due to its scale. You feel it is incredibly important that the events in this adventure mainly strict adherence to the laws of physics, because it would just be stupid if there were any inconsistencies. Yeah. The extended valve punctures the hull of Mobshimbin's shady bus smuggling ships. Never sprawled plug fan in. You successfully plugged in the fan. However, the outlet is not receiving power due to the fact that it runs from the chimney controlled by the switch to the dollhouse's attic. Enter studio. You barge in. The madam is enraged by your presence. The drawstrings on NB's corset snap back to extreme tension. She falls onto the table. Uh-oh. Lobster Kingpin, enter theater. In your hurry to escape the awful red menace that is Fiesta Steak, you don't notice a small man on the floor with an eyepiece. You squash him like a bug. No! You hide in the brothel lobby. Fiesta Steak, follow Mobster Kingpin. You enter the empty theater. It's totally quiet in here. Yeah, kind of. I couldn't really find for the thumbnail. I couldn't really find like a Problem Sleuth logo that I liked. Like, if I can find one right now, I'll change out all of them. Yeah, actually, why haven't I been using like this? This actually would have been good. Yeah. You're right. I'll change that out. I'll change that out right now. Oh, it's a GIF. For some reason. Okay, that's probably why it never... Oh yeah, totally. Thanks. You're into the empty theater. It is totally quiet in here. It's likely no one has been in here for hours. There's a motion picture playing on the screen. You love motion pictures. You decide to take a seat. The burlesque cinema takes a little hot under the collar, even considering your only innately spicy proportions. What am I reading? Disposition. Yes, you do believe you can make out a bare ankle or two. Still, the picture seems awfully small. You obtain the personal gawkular lens next to the small man's body on the floor. It surely will enhance your viewing pleasure. Oh yes, now that's the ticket. Mobshimbin sneaks up behind you and slaps you on the back of the head. Yes, the future paper inspector plays a haunting tuba refrain to raise DMK's emotions. He comes to the tumor prepared to blow a soulfully brooding melody through the substantial horn's brassy girth. DMK battle technique, vexatious glower. I just can't do it. DMK is distracting. No, directing. Why can't I read all of a sudden? Yeah. You just can't do it. DMK is directing one of his horrible, vexatious glowers at you. It's very distracting. Future Pickle Inspector combat apparandi. What? I always say combat apparandi. It's operandi. Temporal replacement. What? Split into and narrowly avoid the attack. One copy vanishes into the future, the other into the past. God! Oh my god. Alright. So, now we have a... Okay, so now I'm assuming we're gonna have... This is just Future Pickle Inspector. So what is it gonna be? So now we can have past Future Pickle Inspector, past... Wait, is that the past Future Pickle... Is that the past Future Pickle Inspector? Like that same one that we saw earlier? No. What is it? Hold on, just they wouldn't just do it like this where... I think that might be like the... So now we have past Future Pickle Inspector and future Pickle Inspector. TPA turns his glower on Problem Sleuth. He catches you way off guard. Even your vampire fastness is no match for it. The flicker attribute of your artifice ambient has been completely snuffed out. Its shared ripeness attribute has depleted by half. Your schema pumpkin is starting to show its age. You should probably take it off the porch soon. It is late November after all. I mean, it is. How about it is here too? I mean, it's not as late as when this came out. It's like the 18th today. This came out on the 30th in 2008. Wow. Promso's Gambit schema has expired. Meanwhile, Death and Zombieistic both try to help coax Pickle Inspector towards the anchor, but to no avail. Slowly and steadily wins the race. No, God. Hold on, just drop something. Drop something. Got it. There's Ron Enter Dollhouse. Into the foyer of the dollhouse. To progress to the attic, you need to unlock the door blocking the stairs. It is covered with a number of colored padlocks. The locks do not appear to have any keyholes. There are two other doors, one to the pantry, the other to a studio. Off to the side is a lovely corset, clearly meant for a woman of... Enter studio door. You're into Madame Mural studio at normal scale. Aggress. Past Future Pickle Inspector join battle. Okay, yep, knew it. I think it's pretty clear Death has abandoned your friendly game for good. You don't want to leave a mess, so you nearly put the game back in its box. Meanwhile, you sense your temporal counterpart has finally split in two, sending one to the past, you, and the other to the future. Future Pickle. Knew it, called it. You finally join the battle, keeping the confusion to a minimum. What? Oh. pair of burly men grapple through the studio in a rough and tumble manner. The ladies stand aside in awe of manly display. It appears the small injured man has managed to crawl through the mouse hole to get a gander at the action as well. This way makes a valiant play for his eyepiece, which is no shape or form could ever use in conjugation with the sniper rifle, and could possibly never serve one of numerous red herrings to this effect. All those guys. Move anchor to Pickle Inspector. Combined strength is enough to nudge the anchor a little bit his way, almost there. Yes, Frankenstein's strongest is more than enough for the task. Check on combs again. One of the impetus combs is complete. There are more on. There are two more on it. The impetus combs are complete. There are two more on its heels that will also be finished very soon. The completed comb is fitted to the Tecton hive of the Lazy Susan. The Lazy Susan of Endowment is spun in position of Pickle Inspector's Suckle Amphora beneath the hive. Take Brawl into Dollhouse Pantry. You both enter the pantry. It is quite cozy and domestic, and a man could make himself real comfortable in here. There appears to be a Lazy Susan on the table. Oh. Here is reach final level. You've sent to level 6,666 at long last. There's a huge portal outside. That's sort of linking to the now defunct Death Star window. The view seems to be out of focus. There are two cranks, one on the floor ceiling, one on the ceiling floor. Turn crank. Oh. The clock tower of Cartesian alignment comes into full focus. Still, it is very far away and difficult to read. I wonder if there's any way to zoom in on it. Comb rave anchors away. Oh no. This isn't gonna work, is it? Prepare to fill your suckle amphora to full. To fuel your devastating anchor. Oh my god, this is gonna be so awesome. No. Oh no. The little guard for Dollhouse property is shatter the small, delicate glass vessel over your adversary's thick cranium. Look at this mess. Replace amphora with new receptacle. You find a striking suckle chalice in one of the cabinets. You promptly fill the Josco honey, tapped from the fourth comb. No. DMK powers up for a ridiculously deadly attack. You better figure out a way to get as far away from him as possible. I don't care what sort of defensive Aegis or ambient you've got. If you're within the blast radius of this one, it'll kill you all. I'm on page 1234. Big Zucker, throw anchor overboard. You drop the anchor. Now that you think about it, you wonder why Now that you think about it, you wonder why you thought you needed to use a comb rave just to throw a silly old anchor. The anchor latches onto the base of the Cathedral of Syndicate Ascension. The tension of the rope causes the Chicago overcoat to veer off course outside the reach of DMK's attack. It's that midnight. Andrew, I say, why are you making prompts with that midnight? Go to bed. Sliding. You sling 180 degrees around the cathedral to the other side, exposing a view of the clock tower of Cartesian alignment. Proudtooth mains the wheel for no very good reason, since it doesn't actually serve any purpose for steering the ship, still maintaining the appearance of command over the vessel for good morale. From the wheel's portal, you can see your own ship swing into view, passing in front of the cathedral's central eye. You begin to contemplate the vantage of the wheel's corresponding portal. Madam Mural. Flee into Dollhouse and wear corset. hardly took any damage from that previous skirmish. It seems she's rather resilient. She's a rather resilient old battle axe. You're gonna have to resort to something with a little more bite. She's not about to keep brawling without her corset. Someone's stolen your... Oh, no. Loosen scale bonus. Ascend to attic. You consider increasing your size to break the attic floors and rise directly to the attic. We reconsider, as it would probably destroy the dollhouses completely and disable the fan's power source altogether. That would be a very bad idea, I guess. While you're daydreaming about adjusting, Madame Muriel dips her skeleton brush into the palette pane. So she applies a variety of colors to the brush. Lashes at HD with That's like, I forgot the acronyms at first. So like lashes high definition with her skeleton flail. No sultry artisan's dominatrix would be caught without one. Auto parry. Nervous Red completes a successful auto parry. Aspect dodge. DMK, fill him with daylight already. We are at chapter 18 of 22. DMK has ripped the universe in half. Should we end it? Should we end now? I mean, no, I really want to keep going. The cathedral and clock tower have been sliced in half as well. The curtains of space and time pull back to reveal a highly energetic, extra-dimensional cosmic superstring strata. Though the blast missed the ship entirely, the steering wheel has also been mysteriously disconnected. Comb report? The next two combs are complete. They appear to be a couple of doozies. Fail HDs and NB's suckle receptacles. FAD and MK interpret their brawl to wonder what the heck is going on over there with the Lazy Susan. The two receptacles are topped off. aggress more vigorously. You sock HD right in the noggin with a bold swab of emerald green paint. She's knocked clean out of her corset. Return to dollhouse. Calm wave for rolling thunder. Uh-oh. Oh, wait, no, it's... I thought it was... Wait, didn't get the... Oh, no, it was HT. Oops. I thought it was... NB, chain attack. NB, change your comb rave after HD's attack. Together you initiate your dual rave maneuver. Yeah, that word. Sisters. Comb rave, highly flammable case of the vapors. You become engulfed in volatile stripper fumes. You declare you're feeling a bit lightheaded and warm under the blouse. Finisher. You fire up your finishing move, level 99, cuddle Tucker and goodnight. Madame Muriel has been slain. She drops the skeleton brush in the pallet. A-Stick, enjoy life. You stroll on the sidewalk with your beautiful, loving family, thinking fondly of the riches and power you've accumulated. You're going to get a bite to eat at the restaurant you run, and taking a motion picture at a theater, which you also own. It's safe to say you hold this town in the palm of your hand. But not everyone is thrilled by your meteoric rise to power. Nearby furtive eye Nearby, a furtive eye leers at you behind an incognito pry glass. Godhead Pickle Inspector, Deus Ex Wing Machina. Your wondrous creation has been discredited. You simply will not tolerate this. You pluck the ham needle from the fountain of the Boucher district. With divine powers, you elongate the fan cord considerably. You affix the meat-based landmark to your thrusty sewing machina. You hold up the fabric of space-time to assess the damage. My. This is what happens when you hool against the roughhouse in your universe. Godhead Pickle Inspector, sew universe back together. The breach has been mended. You put the ham needle back where it belongs. The structures repair themselves as well. The ship's wheel is mended. The universe comes back together. The four heroes drift into the opposite gravitational field. Futuristic wheeled machine gun against MK. Oh, no, that's Fiesta-istic, not future. He hasn't. I hope no more of that happens. Because this is like the home stretch right here. Like, this is like, there are 300 pages left now. Like, or no, 400 now, actually. Oops. 400 pages left. Man, we're getting through this pretty quickly today. You're through with all this aimless roughism. It's time you give MK a close-up look at the ugly end of your hairpin. MK, don MM's corset. Oh. Mom's been puts on the late Madame Mural's stolen undergarment. The gravity brassiere fits like a glove. It's a little too comfortable. You pull the mass drawstrings to boost your mass by a factor of 10. Fiesta-istic, fire. The bullets ricochet off MK's torso. Now, with MK's now massive, virtually unmovable torso. A few seconds, a few of the sucker receptacles shatter. Oh god, that honey's everywhere. The clock of courtesan alignment finally strikes midnight. The toll can be heard throughout the cosmos. The speakeasy patrons hear their chime and know it can only mean one thing. It's the witching hour, and it's time to get your drink on. This is no dilemma, and a spirited hootenanny will not address. The patrons wonder what has become of their beloved legitimate establishment. Next. A change takes place in the ship's wheel. Get brush and palette. You acquire the skeleton brush and the palette. You put your scale corset back on while you're at it. You've grown fond of its snug embrace. You hear a loud racket from the other room. You think it's probably a good idea to just leave it be. Paint keyholes on locks. Use the skeleton brush to apply keyholes to the locks with the appropriate paint colors. Unlock door. Use the skeleton key on the locks. You're free to go up the stairs. Death greets Madame Mural in the afterlife politely. He nervously pours a cup of hot tea. He wonders if by any chance you're up for a game involving large mammals with insatiable appetites. Madame Mural becomes furious at the backhanded reference to her substantial carriage. Historical Dame and Nervous Bride ascend stairs. Both advance to the second floor of the dolls. This appears to be where MM keeps her lovely young women imprisoned, or they're not blowing honey coolers at consumptuous Johns to scratch some salad. It's actually a lot less dirty than it sounded. It looks like there's sunglasses on the floor. Heroes turn crank. The cathedral's viewpoint zooms in on the clock. You can now read the time quite quite clearly. The chronoscope of axial conjugation extends from the cathedral's eye. Oh, okay, so he's like seeing through. You observe a change taking place in the wheel's viewport. You notice that the ship is nearly swung all the way back around to a waiting ordinary DMK. You're going to need to do something. You better do it fast. Nervous Brad, retrieve sunglasses. Yes, perfect idea. You put the Ben Stiller sunglasses in your inventory. You never know when you might need to look outrageously cool. Just like Dave Strider. Okay. Circle Dame and Nervous Brad ascend stairs. You reach the attic. There's a switch on the wall that powers the line running up the chimney. Prompts Sleuth remove chronoscope from wheel. You pry the scope from the central groove. The wheel becomes deactivated. You got the chronoscope. Oh no. Fiesta to combat belly of the whale. You've been locked in this futile struggle long enough. It's time to swallow the sucker, the whole enchilada. Because he's Hispanic now. Yeah, funny. Funny stereotype. Magic Kingpin, battle technique, extortion. Once again, Magic Kingpin turns the tables on you and fire and horns in on your somewhat ethnically flavored racket. Fiesta Stick is pulled into Magic Kingpin's generous tummy. Transform into Fiesta Magic Kingpin. Your base mass and volume are amplified considerably. Now you're way too big to exit the pantry door. So just like Kirby, just eats them and then gains the power. Thug. Lower pry glass to reveal a black ring around the eye. He's seen enough. He gives a surly nod to his accomplice. Ace has been Ace has been strutting around like he owns the town long enough. The thugs and their bean shooters have something to say about that. The thing is, dance between lead raindrops, you filthy rat. Auto parry. You auto parry a bullet directly in the gut, saving your dear sweet son Harst. Wife Harst, however, was not so lucky. You utter something to death between sobs. It sounds something like, "We had a deal. We had a deal." DMK's emotion has risen due to the gripping drama unfolding on top of his hat. Now would be a really ideal time to inflict some damage. These tickets on Harst become vigilante superheroes out of grief. Because your loss caused you to feel an all-consuming sense of vengeance. You feel like every superhero origin cliche is swirling around you at once. Fast Stick punch death in the snout to establish superiority. The Mexican fellow over there seems awfully angry. Maybe you're just being paranoid, but he looks like fixing a punch. So it really looks like he's fixing to punch somebody. You're not as so as not to upset him further by referencing his ethnicity, you casually push the piñata that was in plain view back into your games cupboard. You feel foolish for nearly recommending it as an activity. Sunhurst become Badhurst. I guess you probably should find some caution too. Maybe something with a skull on it, I don't know. Probes with give scope to Pickle Inspector. To save some time, you lob the chronoscope to your right, to your incredibly slow ally. Attach scope to sniper rifle. It fits your sextant perfectly, and will be breeze faring the skies with this old-fashioned nautical navigating device, speaking of which, you can see your ship through the scope. A change takes place on the clock tower with Cartus in alignment. The tower transforms into the clock tower's sniper cannon. You see through the scope that the Chicago overcoat has finally swung around in front of DMK again. Hey, there you are. Hey, there you are with the gun. You should probably be careful where you point this thing. But it comes after a look around the universe with the scope. No, just shoot him. You cast curious augo through the cosmos with the clock tower coordinates. It's aiming your movements. What's that up there? It looks like something has been caught in the orbit of the distant moon. It's the Snoop Dogg bust. No, you have to save it, even if it means taking a bullet for Captain Snoop. But Pickles had no intention of destroying the precious bust. In any case, your valiant gesture would not have accomplished anything, since it was, of course, the cannon that needed to be locked, not the rifle. Pia's finger slips. I think flip switch. Oh wait, hold on. Wait, what? Oh, it's got the Candy Mecha's legs now. Finally, time to supply power to the fan. Soon a chilling breeze shall flood the heavens. The mighty blades will cut at the air like an executioner's axe. The motor will purr like a jungle cat washing blood off its paws. You'll bring terror into the hearts of your foes, and how they will tremble. The electric current makes its way through the well-traveled cord. To reach the fan, it seems that the current must traverse the entire span of the universe, and then back again. This should take approximately 18 billion years, twice. Unless you can think of a way to increase the speed of light. Heroes, ascend the other side of the cathedral. The roads have reached the bottom of the city side of the cathedral. It turns out that ascending 66,666 flights of stairs is a lot easier than descending them. Next. The heroes take a stroll to the gutter pipe projects. The curiosity is piqued by the peculiar arrangement. Fiesta upstream can tighten brassiere to make you small enough to exit the door. You pull the volume on. You pull on the volume drawstrings, reducing your volume by a factor of 10. You should be able to leave this blasted pantry now. The floor beneath you creaks under your highly considered. Wait. You fall through the floor into the dollhouse. Aim at DMK. Use your crack shot aim to sever the tethers to the anchor. You then draw your aim between DMK's multitude of ghastly eyes. Fire. Yes. The cannon volley deals. Oh, my headphones just died. The cannon volley deals significant damage, which DMK naturally is quick to regenerate. You have to keep plugging away at him to keep pace with his demonic defenses. On the plus side, this surely means there will be plenty of Pang nectar to work with soon. Lemmy takes the brunt of the actual sniper rifle, but adeptly manages to auto-parry each shot directly in the face. Lemmy learned a new paragraph, Grocer's worst nightmare. Zombieistic combat apparandi. Check yourself, Jonah. You're fed up with being squishy you're fed up with being a squishy necrotic doormat. It's time to use your potent combat apparandi of all. Your most potent combat operandi of all, who quickly transform into zombie corsair, Dick, into the nautical theme of your awesome marine mammal-based attack. What? Why is there a whale? Fire your harpoon gun to the monster's height to the monster's height and hoist yourself up. In the process, you rudely bump Pickle Inspector and knock off his aim to a kilter of a bit. You stand up for freedom of the people. There shall be no dick trod upon again. The prophecy was true. You are the chosen one. The sleeper has awakened. The cannon fires drifts. The sperm whale falls to the sky and lands on a building. This all seems quietly improbable. The impact of the fall finally snuffs out your flicker completely. Zombie 86 Gambit scheme has expired. Is this jailbreak? I feel like this is I'm pretty sure this is literally jailbreak. Hold on a second. Wait, hold on. I feel like I remember at some point there's a whale on top of the prison, I think. Where it takes place in jail. No, wait, this is the action hall. You've fallen through many floors of a building and landed in a jail cell. There's a friendly-looking man in the corner with an odd variety of possessions, and he's likely seen you. We can't imagine what could possibly go wrong. This literally is jailbreak. Yeah, look, this is literally... Okay. Oh my god, wait. Was this planned foreshadowing from the beginning, or hold on, wait, when is the... Oh my god, wait. Oh my god, this is literally... Oh my god, what foreshadowing? My god. Become Punisher, a stick. Okay, so I guess canonically jailbreak and Promptooth both exist in the same place. Huh, how fun. However, due to your abysmal imagination, this is only the best costume you can come up with. You could draw a ridiculous looking skull on the front of your jacket with dark stone, or maybe a lunk of dog poop. You're not really sure. Can't believe how bad your guns are. It is all extraordinary. It is all extraordinary, unlikely to work at all. Haystack and Badhurst fight crime. Did I say fight crime? What did I say? You watch over the flaming ruins of your once great empire. You have nothing left. You're going to make them pay for this. DMK's emotions elevate. Nothing upsets him quite like the loss of a profitable empire. A white-collar crime. It's almost too much for him to bear. Haystack, spin wheel of life. You consult the wheel of life to guide you on how to proceed with the outrageous butt-kicking that is sure to follow. However, you nearly missed the crime-fighting slot. It looks like your son will be heading west instead. That's life, you guess. Uh-oh. Purchase an ox and some goods like cured meats, whiskey, tobacco, and other essentials. You pack your supplies into your covered wagon. Your old life is over. You and Badhurst will be starting anew out in the open frontier. Heroes enter gutter pipe. Gentlemen, assess floppishly. As gentlemen, you feel strongly that when confronted with dictatorial word of an energetic fist, should be ready to resist. You in fact have a great deal of thoughts on how gentlemen ought to behave. For instance, his nose should pant, his lip should curl. Additionally, his cheeks should flame, and his brow should furl. His bosom should should have his heart should glow, and but not least his fingers have I can't read. Titan brazier. Distinguished with display of foppery. You show them how a real man should behave, a man's man. You turn to the drawstrings of your woman's undergarment. The great compactification causes an alteration in your biochemistry. FMK becomes dark matter mobster kingpin, DMMK. Just make sure things get a little more confusing. This is dark matter mobster kingpin. Your mass increases by a factor of 1,000. Your volume is diminished by a factor of 100. Your increased density creates a strong gravitational field. The gravitational forces the dollhouse to shake. HD and NB fall into the room below with all the lovely young women. Go hunting. Unsurprisingly, your bad gun explodes. Looks like you will have to brave the frontier short on supplies. Your dearest Bathurst will have to go hungry another night. To compound your troubles, there's a river ahead. You face the eternal question: to Kulk or to Ford? Ford River. You decide a guy this hard-boiled doesn't go messing around with totally unmanly things like Kulk. You boldly face the treacherous, ice-cold river. Bathurst slips and falls into the river and is carried away by the current. Dear, sweet, precious Bathurst, there's nothing you can do to save him. Bathurst is drowned. DMK is grieving at young Bathurst passing. It's so sad. He's reaching a near critical spike in emotion. Yeah, keep up heavily shelling of DMK with that cannon. DMK continues to absorb with cannon fire. His regeneration keeps pace with damage. I wonder how much planning, because I'm still thinking about the whole jailbreak thing. I wonder how much planning went into all of this. DMK continues to absorb with the cannon fire. His regeneration keeps pace with the damage. The wicked Slavo is releasing a massive deluge of pangy nectar. The busy bees work tirelessly to gather it up. The next and second to final comb is well on its way to completion. Meanwhile, in the afterlife, Aztec lament life. We got these two are here now. Oxen have died. Your oxen have died, and you've long since consumed their remains. You're out of supplies, and you have burned your wagon for warmth. You nurse the opening of your jug of whiskey for any few precious drops that may remain. With no earthly possessions left, you restore to wandering the wilderness. As you trudge through the smelly swamp, you contemplate the harrowing abyss of despair in your life. It is more than you can bear. Swamp, where is that? This must be something from Bard Quest. Didn't really read much of because I just didn't like it. Huh, okay. Okay, so I guess the weakened by starvation and grief, you crawl to the tree stump and collapse. Look around you. Huh. A particular aura of misery surrounds the stump, but you're too depressed to give it much thought. You are at the end of your rope. Your days of success and happiness are distant memory. You're a husk of a man. Aztec, dig up stump. For some reason, using your last ounce of strength, you're compelled to dig up the stump. You find a gun buried beneath. There's only one thing left for you to do. The tragedy is all DMK can stand. He suffers emotional breakdown when trying a new Sorotech level 76 dramatical catharsis comb status. The piece has completed the impetus comb, the next impetus comb. The penultimate comb drips with partially rich honey. This is a real whopper of a comb, dwarfing its procedures. Aestic's game of life has ended. Was it all an illusion? An entire lifetime spent on the top of the table, with a hat blink of an eye. Your piss poor imagination grapples with the heavy metaphysical issue to little avail. Death returns possibly to offer you a perspective on lessons learned from the game of life you're so eager to jump into. Perhaps next time you will tread with greater causation. Aestic punched Death in the snout to establish infuriation. While Death was distracted, a number of stragglers appeared to be wandering out of the afterlife. Death is terribly flustered. He attempts to shoo everyone back in the door. Fill out past future pickle inspector suckle receptacle. Past future pickle inspector comb rave temporal replication. Past future pickle inspectors taps out 7. Past future pickle inspectors Past feature pickle inspector spots a huge floating traffic light portals, which everyone seems to have forgotten about. He splits them into two distant closed circuits. The part pickle accelerates himself through one half of the makeshift corridor. Future Pickle Inspector approaches the speed of light, which unfortunately for the fan still remains uncharged constant value. I want to keep going, but I also know I need to stop. Yeah, I'm gonna keep going. Screw it. Future Pickle Inspector finally appears from the past, conveniently in the midst of the second collider. Future Pickle Inspector comb rave temporal replica collision. When's the next chapter just gonna be? He begins his journey in reverse through the other half of the traffic light portal collider. The large hard-on part pickles dry my DMK beneath the large hat drawn on top of his head. Collide. The two part pickles collide, obliterating each other in an act of self-sacrifice. It is a chance. Okay, I'm assuming this is gonna be the next. No, have tearful reunion with Bathurst. Death was so unsuccessful in his attempt to shove everyone back into this door, so I have no choice but to bear for impact. A6 shields to sweep Bathurst with a terrifying blast. You won't lose him this time. Never again, you say. Never again. The tender reunion causes DMK to grow second emotions gains. What are you doing to this poor man? It turns out to only be a moot point, though. DMK's final health bar meters has been totally wiped out by the collision. Peng nectars everywhere. Epic swoon causes him to descend. There's a strange fellow standing on top of... Hey, the hired muzzle. There's a strange fellow standing on top of DMK's large hat drawn on DMK's head. You're quite sure you have never detected his existence before, and you're sure you never will again. You seem to have discovered the elusive, supermassive Higgs bonehead. He appears to be very dense, unintelligent, slow-moving, and tragically short-lived. Okay, snipe the weak spot. Probably end this whole thing with just one clean head bulb shot. God! Praise boneheads with mortality. The mournful look in Death's empty sockets say it all. You're not long for this world, Mr. Bonehead. I am so sorry. Higgs Bonehead, target weak spot with kamikaze attack. Bonehead knows what he must do. He flings his torn girth ballboard. Problem Sleuth, give Problem Sleuth chronoscope. In the moment of quick thinking, you realize Problem Sleuth will need the scope to reactivate the wheel to turn the universe. Problem Sleuth plugs the scope into the wheel. That convinces everyone back into the door so they all don't go flying off the top of the hat. His persistence, badgering, pays off. They finally listen to reason. Problem Sleuth, turn wheel. You flip the universe, reversing Bonehead's course directly toward the bulb. Wait, something's happening. It's too late. No. Throw your hat down and you're determined not to let this opportunity slip by. You're just way too hard-boiled and determined by the setback. With decisive action, you issue a command to your shipmate. Go pick up the huge barrel. Pickle Inspector begins his dogged trek towards the barrel. The voyage should take several days on account of P.I.'s Frankenstein slowness. Problem Sleuth throws his hat in disgust. Heroes, aggress DMMK. Aggress DMMK. Circulating nervous spot and the leader of the liberators of all the prostitutes command their loyal, lovely young women to prepare for battle. The lovely young women comply swiftly. Your party is now accompanied by a harlot, ranger, trollop thief, and stumpet priestess, and stumpet priestess. You're having a hard time inflicting any damage on DMMK, who is shielded by a strong gravitational field but seems to be absorbing everything you throw at it, including lashes of paint and scalding flames. The leveling women aren't having much luck either. The field swallows up your arrows, as well as entire summoned demimond goddesses. The trollop thief attempts to steal from DMK. She steals nothing but loses 117 spondylux in the process. You examine your schema pumpkin. It's looking awfully pungent. This is unsurprising since almost February, and you should have taken it off your porch months ago. P.I.'s gambit schema is mere moments from expiring. It's almost been an hour. P.I. has ventured several feet across the deck. He seems quite pleased with his progress. The vulnerable is getting a little impatient. He has half a mind to close back up. If something doesn't happen soon, he checks his watch. It's almost 1 a.m. The witching hour is nearly expired. Patrons of the speakeasy have put the witching hour to good use. They have embedded heavily, and any one of the fellows will tell you the whole wingdings gone like eggs in the coffee. Everyone's in agreement. It's about time to relocate this hootenanny to the sleazy brothel, but the hatless man demands the nightcap before they go. He slurs instructions to the barkeep that he'd like whatever's in the bottle over there. Barkeep wonders if the man is sure about that. He ventures that perhaps he's had enough tonight. The man reassures him of the contrary with a red-faced rebuttal. The hatless man obtains the ink of squid pro quo. Patrons head to brothel. They head to the studio, but the madam does not appear to be around. Maybe she's in the dollhouse tending to her ladies. Patrons enter dollhouse. There's nothing here but a huge hole in the floor. Powerful gravitational force. None of the patrons are in any condition to maintain their balance. Gentlemen, aggress DMMK. The gentlemen aggress the uncouth ruffian with the sort of tactics that strike their fancy at the moment by waging stiff contest through a series of old-timey childhood games. Dapper Swain makes a smashing play with his rubber ball and announces the triumphance by bellowing, "Horse before the carriage," as is the only proper way. However, before he can scoop the jacks up, they vanish into the field. The churlish Toff is having a devil of a time. The match of stickball, his ball bounces into the field as well, never to be recovered. Oh no. The mannerly highbrow bustles on the stage with the spirited game of hoop and stick. He was but a lad when he last played. The activity has him feeling youthful and invigorated, as well as swollen-breasted popinjay. Is this British stuff? What is this? The highbrow blithely rolls DMK around Katamari style. Yes, Katamari Damacy. Gathering lesser debris lying around, such as melons, arrows, coins, and bits of eggshell. Eyeball accumulates every character under the dollhouse. The highbrow, unsurprisingly, is absorbed by his own ball. DMK tighten drawstrings. DMK is livid about the lack of respect he's being shown. The top mob boss just ain't cut out for this. The head mob boss just ain't cut out for this sort of treatment, you see. He reduces his volume again and cranks the mass up by a factor of 1 billion. Chrome report. Professor B oversees the mammoth. Words, I'm tired. Okay. The mammoth undertaking of filling the final comb. Vast quantities of peng nectar were generated from the previous attack. The workers scramble to keep pace. That is the mother of all combs. The professor hopes you know what you're doing. Electric current is still taking its sweet time. It's barely even going to make its journey across the universe. It sure looks like that useless deity over there couldn't care. Pickle report. Pickle Inspector isn't faring much better with his blasted Frankenstein slowness. He almost seems as slow as the lousy, stupid speed of light. You put your resolve hat back on, which conveniently is the same hat as your normal hat. This is not a good time for Frankenstein's slowness, you mutter. In fact, you say, gathering up exponentially hard-boiled demeanor, you pose yourself to deliver a cold-blooded line. There's no time for Frankenstein's slowness, which is a good time for Frankenstein's slowness. Turn wheel 90 degrees. You pitch the universe 90 degrees CCW, tipping the barrel towards an utterly immobile PI. PI readies himself to catch it. The barrel bounces off PI's head, sailing overboard laterally. PS right. Rates the universe to let it fall beneath the weak spot. Turn wheel 180 degrees. Yes. DMK's supply of spunk mirror has been depleted. Problems with the right universe. Pokemon Inspector's Gambit scheme has expired, along with the ripeness of the schema pumpkin, which may not have ever existed. DMMK, descend into the game of life. The force of entry has caused the orbiting mob of characters to disperse throughout the game. DMMK is nowhere to be found. DMMK descends from the heavens, much to the rapture of his zealous occultists. They herald the messianic arrival of their beloved mob boss. They've kept his empire well, and he is pleased. Everyone exit life. There isn't much for you to do in this stupid board game, so you all decide to leave. Meanwhile, in the afterlife, there's a lot of commotion outside the door. Everyone decides to go check on it with brazen disregard for Death's polite request that they stay put. Death throws his hat down in disappointment. He really must remember to invest in stronger security measures for the afterlife. Yeah, just that link leads to Woodwind Instruments on Google for Google Images. Because oh god, it's funny. Everyone exit afterlife. The vulnerable is closed. DMK makes his ominous final as descent. Hatless man drink ink on top of squid. Drink ink of squid pro coral. The man is delighted that the hootenanny continues into the night with all these new faces on top of his peculiar flat surface, which it is. He slurs drunken tidings to merriment to this effect, remarking how he is just so happy to shield a wonderful pull. He readies his bottle for celebratory swig. A stoic dame swats the bottle of ink away from the foolish drunkard. Thugs prostrate themselves before Savior. The thugs buckle their knees and cast their unworthy torsos sidewalkward, whether it is on account of submission, or the strong gravitational forces. It is difficult to say. Perhaps this mob's a gravitational-based cult. There is no difference. The MMK tighten drawstrings yet again. You give him a good tug this time, lowering your volume and jacking your mass up to a factor of a million, relative to the weight of an Earth-sized planet. Dark matter, Mobster Kingpin, slipped into the Schwarzschild radius. Its collapse become black hole Mobster Kingpin. Nothing can escape his gravitational pull. Not even light, no matter how slowly it steadily attempts to crawl out of his gravity well. Death, great new visitors. You've become so frazzled by the people coming and going, you completely forgot to have some tea prepared for your new guests. It seems that all the imaginary pickle inspectors have finally caught up with each other in the afterlife. Death, beg visitors to stay. You plead with the fellows to stay in the afterlife. You are at your wit's end. You will do anything. Gentlemen agree to amicably to remain where they are. The gray fellow appears to be way too large and unintelligent to leave anyway. Madam, who appears to not have left with the others, gives her reassurance as well. She suggests a round of the game where you were so fond of. One of the mammals that she doesn't mind. If you didn't know better, you would swear Madam was beginning to fancy you. You become a little uncomfortable. Brown Tooth, get ye ink flask. When's the next chapter? How many more? Oh wow, quite a few. Brownsmith acquires the ink of Squid Pro Quo and puts it safely in his pocket where any good flask belongs. His items remaining in your inventory are, of course, 4 precious pieces of candy corn, a lot of useless ammunition, and your supplies of elf tears, weasel snot, hog slop, and pie filling, each respectively at 36, 12, 18, and 29 drops precisely. And all you need is a weapon. The gravitational pull of BHMK is unstoppable. The game of life is being ripped apart. Buildings, trees, ugly dogs, everything is sucked into its event horizon. DMK's third and final phase. He was more fearsome than ever, now with 3 health meters and a deadly black hole version of his non-imaginary self pulsing on top of his hat. In addition to which, he is completely invulnerable to all physical attacks and has no weakness or incurrence of blood sugar or emotions. He's only susceptible to damage caused by righteous fires of charisma, but there's no doubt any hero in the cosmos bold enough to wield them. Also, he regenerates any quantity of damage he suffers instantaneously. Good luck! I think this is now a good place to stop. Let me just go to the next page. And yeah, this is a good place to stop. And I'll see you.